Two colossal palaces have long competed for the title of America's most opulent private estate. Biltmore, nestled in the mountains of Asheville, North Carolina, was completed in 1895 at a cost equivalent to $500 million today. Mar-a-Lago, gleaming on the shores of Palm Beach, Florida, rose in 1927 as a fantasy of Spanish tiles and Venetian splendor. The first was the vision of George Washington Vanderbilt II, youngest heir to America's greatest railroad fortune. The second belonged to Marjorie Merriweather Post, the serial heiress whose breakfast empire made her one of the wealthiest women in the nation. Both estates have survived economic collapse, world wars, and the deaths of their visionary founders. Both have been transformed in ways their creators never imagined. Today we weigh these two monuments against each other to answer a deceptively simple question: which American empire was truly more powerful? In the Gilded Age of the 1880s and 1890s, America witnessed the rise of fortunes so vast they rivaled the treasuries of European nations. At the apex of this new aristocracy stood the Vanderbilt family, whose railroad empire had generated wealth beyond ordinary comprehension. Cornelius Commodore Vanderbilt had built his dynasty from nothing, starting with a single ferry boat in New York Harbor. Born in 17 hours in Chackand, Orin, 1794 to a poor Staten Island farmer, the Commodore possessed an almost supernatural instinct for transportation and commerce. By his 30th birthday, he controlled a fleet of steamships that dominated traffic along the eastern seaboard. By his 50th, he had turned his attention to railroads, recognizing that iron rails would soon supersede waterways as America's commercial arteries. The Commodore's methods were ruthless, and his competitors learned to fear him. He bought struggling rail lines, consolidated them into efficient networks, and crushed anyone who stood in his path. When he died in 1877, Cornelius Vanderbilt had amassed approximately $100 million, a sum equivalent to well over $2 billion in today's currency. This made him the richest American who had ever lived up to that point. He left the bulk of his fortune to his son William Henry, who proved equally adept at multiplication. Within 8 years, William Henry had doubled the family wealth to $200 million through shrewd management of the railroad interests. The Vanderbilt children and grandchildren proceeded to spend this fortune with legendary abandon. They constructed palatial homes along Fifth Avenue